Very good evening. You're watching India Today social media. I'm Nabila Jamal. A quick roundup of the day's news that's grabbing headlines. Monkeypox. It's become quite a fear now, considering that we're barely over the COVID-19 pandemic, and already monkeypox now comes a new virus comes as quite a worrying piece of information and news that India is seeing at least 4 cases of monkeypox, and it is a viral infection. We're looking at the WHO almost highlighting the fact that monkeypox is usually transferred through sexual intercourse between a man and a man. So the LGBTQ community, it appears, as per what the WHO says, could be susceptible to monkeypox largely. Men are usually those who are contracting this. In fact, in India, 4 cases, all men. In the latest new case that's been detected in Delhi, 31-year-old man in Delhi who had no foreign travel. He's been detected of monkeypox. So high fever, blisters on your skin all over, something like a pimple that pops up on your skin. So it is scary, to say the least, and it is human to human transfer. But again, not so easy for it to transfer as well. It doesn't spread as easy as the way COVID virus spread. But this is also, of course, worrisome, because it could become an endemic soon, and we're only dreading that a virus like this shouldn't become a pandemic. We're hoping not, but of course India has already set up about 15 labs now to carry out testing and to ensure the best possible treatment to monkeypox virus patients. Now, who are at risk of monkeypox virus? Again, like I said, men who are mostly who have contracted this disease, men who have sex with men are those primarily who are susceptible to this virus. So apart from that, we're looking at healthcare workers who had prolonged exposure to many patients with illnesses. So medical care, healthcare workers are the ones who are also susceptible to the monkeypox virus. And also, of course, immunocompromised people who have very low immunity and prolonged illnesses could be also someone who could be susceptible to a virus like this. So monkeypox, of course, it has become a topic of conversation among health experts. At this point, the WHO, World Health Organization, has asked nations to be on alert. So for the moment, this is an outbreak that's concentrated among men who have intercourse with men. So this is what the trend is among most parts of the globe. Close to about 1,400 odd cases have been reported across the world. In India, 4 cases as of now. So we're only hoping that it doesn't spread as such. So again, to give you a quick take on the symptoms of monkeypox, let me quickly take you through what exactly are the real symptoms that you should be ideally looking out for. Fever is one such symptom, which all of us know that needs to be tested immediately. If you do have high fever, then at this point it's worth testing because of the virus in the air. So symptoms include also, apart from fever, swollen lymph nodes, also headache, constant headaches, constant body ache. That's also followed by profound weakness and skin rashes and blisters, like I did mention. These are the typical symptoms of monkeypox. So do watch out for these symptoms, but if not, otherwise they say that sitting beside a person who has monkeypox for about 2 to 3 hours, basically it spreads through bodily fluids. So if you're having physical contact with a person who has monkeypox, very likely that you could get it. Apart from that, it isn't a virus that's transferred through air the way COVID-19 was suspected to have. COVID-19, a person is mandatorily asked to wear a mask because you don't want to spread the infection, but monkeypox is a different virus, but it's still scary. It doesn't spread through air, it spreads through bodily fluids. So if a person with monkeypox and their fluid touches you or falls on your skin, then it's likely that you could contract the virus. But again, it's got to have prolonged exposure to the person. Yeah. So, all right, quickly cutting across to the recent, most latest news that we are tracking on India Today TV is that our very famous Lovlina Borgohain, she's the Olympic champion, our India's pride. This boxing champion has put out a really heartfelt note on her social media platform accusing the Boxing Federation of India of harassing her. Now, these are really grave allegations to make because she's right now, she's in fact, practicing for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham in United Kingdom. And while she's there practicing for it, and just about 8 days before her tournament, it appears that she has expressed her grouse with the Boxing Federation of India against them, saying that they have been constantly harassing her by changing her coaches time and again. She says that many coaches in the last few months they've changed. Even now, 8 days ahead of our tournament, the Boxing Federation of India has changed my coach, and these are all legit, very credible coaches. Some of them who have awards, who won awards, and you know, these are the kind of people who they are constantly changing and making me. You know, putting me in distress. She claims that this is inevitably leading to mental stress, and she's not been able to focus on her training for the Commonwealth Games. So this is a huge allegation to make. We're hoping that at this point the government does step in, because you know, we do know that Lovlina Borgohain is the pride of India, and for her to be making such an allegation needs to be taken. It needs to be dealt with. The government has got to look into it. The Boxing Federation of India so far has not responded to this, but what Lovlina says is not the first time. This has happened in the past as well. Even during other competitions, they have done this to her, and she, despite all odds, has surfaced. So this time she does not want to lose focus before the Commonwealth Games, and that's why she's put out this whole heartfelt message. So changing of coaches all the time, you know, every few weeks you're changing coaches. It's clearly going to be detrimental on the mental health of an athlete. Undoubtedly, no wonder it appears Lovlina has come out to really express her grief. Let's hope it's fixed, and that's the benefit of social media, right? You can just put out a message there, whatever's on your mind, and you'll have the world taking note of it. Let's hope this really works to her advantage. All right, a quick word coming in from Karnataka. Siddaramaiah, DK Shivkumar, the fight about who is going to be the next chief ministerial face for the Congress party in Karnataka intensifies, as now the Congress party's high command has very strictly said that anybody openly supporting either of the leaders, DK Shivkumar or Siddaramaiah, for chief ministerial post, openly announcing it that we support this leader or that leader, basically creating a divide within the Congress party, they'll be dealt with by the high command. Disciplinary action will be taken against them. This is what the Congress has done now. They've not picked a leader. They've not picked DK or Sidhu for the face of CM, but they're of course at this point trying to keep the house together. It seems like there's a Sidhu camp, there's a DK camp. There seems to be a huge divide within the Karnataka Congress, and that's really acting to the benefit of the BJP, who has already announced that Basaraj Bommai is the CM for Karnataka. He's going to be fielded as a CM face. So at a time like this, when the BJP looks very decided and sorted, Karnataka Congress bickering really would hamper their chances, no doubt. All right, a quick word coming in from Uttar Pradesh. Very awful piece of news. I'm so ashamed. Two Muslim men, Adil and this man called Kamal, both of them brothers, somewhere around the age of 29-30. They have worn a saffron scarf on the head, gone to a Dargah in Uttar Pradesh, and have vandalized the tomb in that Dargah. So even the mazar of that Dargah, they've burnt down to ashes. They've tried to destroy some part of the tomb, and when locals tried to interfere to check who these men were, one would imagine from the face of it that these men were Hindus, because they were wrapped in a saffron scarf. They had wrapped their head in a saffron scarf. But then after the police came by and investigated or found out their identity, these two men turned out to be Muslims. Both these men, as per the police, they tried to instigate communal violence between the two communities and tried to work against a Dargah, I mean, or rather attempted to demolish the tomb in the Dargah, and made it look as if Hindus were doing it in a Dargah which ideally is run by Muslims. So there's a Kanwar Yatra which is currently on in Bijnoir, Uttar Pradesh, and it appears that that these two men only attempted at disrupting communal harmony. They've been arrested. Of course, the Uttar Pradesh police is now looking into the matter, but what a shame. I mean, these are people who, I mean, the least, the bare minimum that we can do in an environment like this, which is filled with hate today, is to try and bridge the gap, not widen the gap. And these men who pose to be Hindus wearing a saffron scarf, what are they trying to attempt? What are they attempting at doing? Do they have respect for their own religion? Because if they really did, they wouldn't burn down the mazar of the Dargah, of the tomb. So they're acting against their own religion inevitably, trying to portray as if Hindus are doing it. in a way, they are harming their own community and their own belief and people's belief in that Dargah. So very unfortunate. So they've been dealt with, they've been taken into custody. Now a quick word coming in from Bollywood. Katrina Kaif and Vicky Kaushal, both of them have been threatened constantly on social media. It's a very interesting story because that troll, that man who's been identified as Manvinder Singh, he apparently is a huge fan of Katrina Kaif, wanted to marry her all along, has put up, he has 2 social media accounts and both his accounts say that Katrina Kaif is his wife. On one account it says his wife and on the other account it says girlfriend. And he's explicitly said in that account that he's married, he's already married to Katrina Kaif on the 13th of December 2021. We do know that Katrina and Vicky got married on the 9th of December 2021. So he says that he married Katrina on the 13th of December and he's put up morphed pictures of himself and Katrina Kaif, you know, together, etc. So, I mean, one might look at it as a joke, but you know, the man was sending out death threats to Vicky Kaushal. He was stalking Katrina Kaif. So that's where it became a serious issue with Vicky Kaushal reaching out to the Santa Cruz police station in Mumbai, filing a formal complaint. Several sections of the IPC were slapped against him. And this man was arrested in no time. In barely half a day, the police have done a fabulous job by detaining him. So he's also admitted that, yeah, he was stalking her, etc. So, yeah, he's going to be a whip cracked on him. That's that. A quick word on Draupadi Murmu, India's 15th president, takes oath in a quite a grand ceremony today in the presence of Prime Minister Modi and all the top leaders. You had all the opposition leaders also, including Sonia Gandhi and the likes, present there for this event. So she's met with everyone, all of them congratulated her. So she's our president. It's no more an opposition or a center. She becomes India's president today. So sans all the politics, Draupadi Murmu becomes the 15th president of India, the second woman, the first tribal who is taking oath in the highest constitutional office. So as soon as she took oath, she gave out a very heartfelt message. She said something like, you know, my appointment as the president of the country shows that, and it proves that poor Indians not just can dream, but also can fulfill aspirations. She says, my only asset is the trust and confidence that people have in me. So yeah, it was quite a heartfelt moment to see a tribal woman taking oath as India's president. Finally, as I wrap here, this whole shosha around TMC leader Partha Chatterjee being arrested, it's now exploded with the ED investigating all the kind of properties that is linked to him. This man has a separate luxury apartment only for his dogs. One can only imagine the kind of money he had. Investigation is, and the allegation is that this man Partha Chatterjee had kept almost 21 odd crores at the house of his very close aide and actor, Arpita Mukherjee. Arpita Mukherjee is an actor. She's acted in Bengali, Odisha, Tamil films as well. So she's quite a popular face. At her house, Partha Chatterjee has kept close to 21 odd crores. The ED had raided her premises, recovered all that money in cash. Imagine 21 crores in cash. One can only imagine what was going through their minds to have pulled off such a huge corruption scandal. And so brazenly, they're keeping that cash in their house. And clearly the ED, after a tip-off, raided the premises, found that money and also found a lot of diamond sets that Arpita had invested in, close to 15 diamond sets, 15 gold jewelry, sets of gold jewelry, etc. All that was found. Now the latest is that Arpita in court, she's been produced before the court, she's tossed the entire blame to Partha Chatterjee, saying that Partha is the one who owns that money. It's his money, it's not mine. It's all Partha's money. So, yeah, the ED now in hold of TMC's biggest leader. He's the Industries and Commerce Minister, very close to Mamata Banerjee. In fact, as soon as he was arrested, usually according to the ED memo, or when the police arrest you, you're given a phone to make a call to your family members or anyone who you want to inform, saying that you're arrested and that you're with the police. So Partha Chatterjee has chosen to call Mamata Banerjee. He's called Mamata Banerjee that night when he was arrested on Saturday early in the morning at around 2:30 a.m. and then at 3:30 a.m. and then at 9:30 a.m. All 3 times the calls that he made, Mamata Banerjee has not responded to the calls. This is as per the police's document of investigating Partha and what was the process behind it. So Partha Mukherjee, a very close aide of Mamata Banerjee, involved in a corruption allegation, and the allegation is that he may have been involved in the school recruitment scam. So government schools recruiting teachers, etc. Large sums of bribe money was taken in exchange for a government position for these school teachers. So this was the scandal which the ED is investigating, and linked to this is the money, is what the ED says. Now, where exactly is the money coming? Has it come from, etc. ED will give us